So hi, what's going on guys? Hezitech Gaming here. I'm so sorry I haven't made a video in so long because I've been so busy with Hezitech Vlogs, doing a video every single day for 6 months now. It's quite tiring, and for some reason, even though this doesn't mean like officially a thing, everyone seems to make E3 into some sort of game. Who won each year's E3? Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo? So first of all, E3 is a presentation and it's all about showmanship. One of the things that I do like with the E3, this is a personal thing to me, is that the showmanship. I like being entertained at E3. I like to enjoy what I see. And this year, Microsoft and Sony did things very differently. Xbox carried on with their big theatrics, with their mega stage, and even the way the chairs are lined out in that specific arena are so lovely. On the stage, there's specific platforms, some higher than others, and there's all these different Xbox logos on the floor, and it just looks so beautiful. The Xbox venue looked absolutely glorious. It looked like a place from heaven. It's just a beautiful venue. On the other hand, Sony's venue was a bit boring. It's like a place I'd do a concert. A stage with just chairs lined up in a rows, with rows and rows and rows and rows. They only had one big screen, but what they did do right though, is that they brought in an orchestra. That was amazing. The orchestra thing was such a good shout. Sony's press conference opened up with an amazing orchestra playing some amazing music. I don't know who they play for, I forgot the composer, but the music was so amazing to the point that I've replayed it about 2 times since the press conference. But the big difference was with this year is that Sony did like less than 10 minutes of talking, which a large part of was taken up by saying the condolences for the people that died in the nightclub shooting in Orlando, and just did literally everything else. Games. There wasn't no in-between talking, it was just game after game after game, while Microsoft did the usual thing of games and talking and games and talking. And personally, this is my personal thing, once again, I love the talking thing where they kind of like hype up the BS and like, oh yeah, this is our new game, this. Here at Microsoft, we are proud to present, da da da. We have a passionate team of gamers and we want to give them the best experiences from across the globe and this and that. I kind of enjoy that BS, and Apple is another company that does that so well, which really engages you. Sony didn't do that, and I felt a little bit disengaged from Sony just because it was just trailer after trailer. If I want to watch trailer after trailer, they could have just dropped all the trailers onto YouTube and not done a press conference where, I don't know, a couple thousand people were in that venue watching. It did confuse me a little bit. Yes, the VR thing is sounding really, really good. I'm sure everyone in that conference left with shivers down their spines, as it probably would be scary. I have tried out Oculus Rift and the PlayStation VR headset, and VR seems very promising. I don't know how mainstream it will become, but it's definitely promising, and I think the price of the VR is $399, which is very reasonable. I just hope that Sony keeps up with great AAA games for the VR, because so far, with Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, we've seen like kind of trailers and demos for games, but not really full-fledged games. Like, we haven't seen like Uncharted 4 VR, we haven't seen proper AAA games VR yet, and obviously VR is relatively new, so maybe the next year to 2 years, we'll see that happening. Apart from that though, in terms of games, I personally, this is a personal thing, I didn't really care much for the games that PlayStation are bringing out. God of War, it looks great. God of War looks great, but from that trailer alone, it seems like they're taking a different direction to this specific game. It's not that usual frantic, slashing, cracking, killing, war spree game. It's a bit more relaxed. The last Spider-Man had really bad reviews and it went a bit dusty. Detroit Become Human looked good, but I'm not into this kind of zombie apocalypse game kind of stuff. Crash Bandicoot's a good throwback. Concerning Infinite Warfare, wow. You know, when Call of Duty used to be announced at the Xbox conferences, it used to be such a big deal. It used to be such a big thing. They'd come out, they'd hype it up, but with Sony, they just put on a trailer, and the trailer looks so boring. They're in space, it looks so dead. Infinite Warfare looks so boring. I really don't want to pick it up, but the reason I will is because it's coming with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Obviously, those games that Sony did come out with do look really good. They look like great, lovely games, but it's just not games that I'm interested to. It seems as if Sony just stick to one audience, horror and sci-fi fantasy. If you're in those markets, if you like those kind of games, you'll have a whale of a time. I think the only game that really appealed to me personally was Gran Turismo. But apart from that, I came out of the PlayStation conference a bit meh, and it was only 1 hour long. I just felt meh. Xbox One, on the other hand, came out of 2 great games that I love: Forza Horizon 3, Gears of War 4. My first Horizon I played was on Xbox One. Forza Horizon 2, I think it came out like the next year after the Xbox One came out. Absolutely loved it, and the next Horizon looks even better, looks way better. And Gears of War 4, games for me, Xbox One the show, although Sony came out with way more AAA titles. But a thing to note is that most of those titles aren't coming until 2017. And for someone like Kojima running some of those games, probably 2019. So Xbox One already has Forza Horizon 3 confirmed for September. I can't wait. PS4, a lot of these games are unconfirmed dates. We don't know when they're coming, although they look really amazing. E3 is all about innovation. And if we were to take away from all the games and all the theatrics and everything else, and we just think about who did more innovation this year, we'd really have to look at Microsoft. While PS4 did the usual thing, something that's not controversial at all, they just did what the fans were asking for, nothing more, nothing less. Bring out loads of great AAA titles. Xbox truly are the ones to innovate this year. We have seen them now completely leave the era of when consoles aren't upgradable. Microsoft is truly taking Xbox into the future in how they are thinking of consoles as a gaming platform. We have now officially seen them go away from this thing of having the same console for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Instead, they're all about this upgradability thing. So with the new Xbox One S, it's actually slightly more powerful, and they have this new thing with the Xbox Scorpio project. They are clearly heading for this upgradability thing, and I think personally it's about time. They have noted that every console will be supportive of every single game that comes out. So no matter if you have the normal Xbox One like I do, or the Xbox Scorpio, you'll be able to play your games. But of course, the Xbox Scorpio is made for the hardcore gamer who wants to play in 4K, who wants to have the best frame rate, everything else. And I'm glad that Xbox is giving the consumer the option to decide what they want from their gaming experience. Also, we've seen a big thing where Microsoft has finally admitted that they don't care about the PC market. They don't see the PC market as a threat, but as something they can tap into to help out the console market. So every single AAA game that they release on Microsoft Studios coming up this year will be given to you for free on the PC if you buy it on the Xbox One as a digital version, and vice versa. It's this play anywhere thing where if maybe I'm playing Gears of War 4 at home, then I have to go to work, I've got my laptop in my bag, I can play Gears of War 4 in my bag. Even though I know PC is better, there's no doubt about it. PC is the better platform in terms of pure technical amazingness. However, I would never buy a PC. And even if I do ever buy a gaming PC, it will never be my main platform. I want to sit down on my couch or my bed and just play some games with a controller. That's just me. So, and that's like 90% of people on consoles anyway, because if we wanted a PC, we would have got a PC ages ago. So there's nothing stopping us from getting a PC. So more upgradability, the better. Well, PS4 didn't really innovate at all. They came out with PSVR, but VR has been a thing for ages now. We know that was coming. There's nothing that was really special with the PS4 press conference. It was, yep, we were breaking some new games. The PS4 VR is coming up this year, as you guys have known for like the last 2 years. That's it, guys, go away, we'll see you next year. Something really interesting to think about is why they haven't released the PS4 Neo project yet. I thought maybe it'd be good to have something more powerful to go along with that so you get better frame rates and stuff, but clearly they haven't. But what I do see is that Microsoft is already pre-preparing themselves with the Xbox for something like HoloLens. I don't know if you guys know what HoloLens is. It's like some amped up, not VR, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but a different kind of third world experience. And with the Scorpio, I'm sure that'll be able to handle it. Ultimately, what I think is this. Great games are going to come up for both consoles, regardless of E3. E3's to innovate. E3's to get the fans hyped up for something new, something different. E3's to show the latest ideas, not what we were already expecting, new games. If I want to look at new games, again, I would just look at a trailer. Xbox, to me, were the ones that were innovating this year. I'm not a fanboy of anyone. I've got both consoles. I really don't care who's better at this moment. I really don't care. I don't care which console is better. I've got both. I've got both consoles. I can play both of them at any time. I don't care. I'm not a fanboy. This year, Xbox really pulled it out of the bat with the presentation. They're on innovated. They're taking us into a new era of gaming, literally. We're now seeing upgradability. Who knows how long this will last for. The Xbox One might last for like 10, 15 years now because it'll be constantly getting upgraded. And you know what? I kind of want that. I might possibly buy the Xbox One S, maybe not this year, but next year. I've got a bit more time out of my Xbox, my normal Xbox. I still want another 2 years of each console really, but now that I know that the Xbox One S will have better hardware, and for not that much higher of a price, I bought the original Xbox One, guys kill me, at $429, and that didn't even include any games. So, you know, the Xbox One S is only £300, and plus, I can upgrade for £50 to a 1TB hard drive. I've been running out of hard drive space like the last 2 years on my Xbox One, so I definitely need that. But anyway, that's what I think of E3 this year. What are your thoughts on E3? Please let me know in the comments down below. Until the next one, guys, it's HezzyTech. Peace.